Hello and welcome back to Maize. Between the episodes, I took a walk around and some deep breaths, and then I poured myself more bourbon into a glass with some, ginger beer, because I'm gonna need something strong and cold and drinkable. Whatever this game throws at me next. You know, it's funny because I've been freaking out about stuff that isn't even related to the game. Boy, is that how we're gonna do the place the thing here? A blue outline? Alright. Well, let's go in here first. I mean, I gotta say, why is that so... Oh my god, look at that. Look at that outline. What is going on with this render? That's so strange. For all the issues here, including the fact that everything is blurry and weird for some reason, they've definitely made an environment that looks like it was once very lived in and abandoned with haste. And the secret is, she was just a lesbian. Not that interesting, just, you know, some sort of coming of age story. It's a spooky macaw. I'm like sort of worried about, like, the music is both putting me at ease and at unease. Like, I'm not sure what to expect. I mean, I'm not sure why. Do you really want me to shovel handle this? Why do I need the box for that? Okay, this is madness. There's a lot of other weird things in this house, but putting the boxes in the tub, that's some next level madness. What? Oh! Gee, game, you could tell me I was gonna, like, use it as a lever. I mean, I guess that's probably why it is so explicit, is because there's no, well, at least with the way they wrote or described that, there's no way for me to know that's what I was gonna do. I feel enormous. There's something about this camera angle. Everything seems too close to my head. Like, I'm not even that big, because clearly I'm not that close to the... I'm not that close to the frame, but something about the camera angle... It's not even the fisheye either. There's something about the, Yeah, there's something about it. It's not quite right. Does this make it better? I just don't, like, I don't want to miss out on stuff because I've got things turned down, but then I turn it up to epic and the frame rate is like 5 frames a second, but it doesn't look that much better. I'm confused. Oh, interesting. And if I go this direction, setting everything back to low doesn't trigger that, whatever that graphics reset is. So it still has the shitty frame rate. but everything's less fuzzy. What is going on? God, I hope somehow the oh, and the frame rate's back to like 15 frames a second. The recording frame rate. Why is the recording frame rate so low? I hope somebody from the development team, Jesus, somehow, oh no. I mean, I want to turn the settings back so this is at a better frame rate for everyone else. It's at a good frame rate for me, but I don't want you guys to suffer at 17 frames a second the whole time, but also the graphical fidelity really suffers as a result. So let's stare at these carrots for a hot minute. Funny, they don't, well, the textures show up a little bit more there, but it's not an enormous change. Okay, so what is going... I mean, this makes the whole settings thing all the weirder, right? Because if it was like, hey, you use the normal quality thing to set the, like, the render quality, and then all of the other things are sub-values. Except you can't do that, because you can't use the... I guess I can... I mean... Yeah, there's no way to do that. So, God, I almost want to, like, I don't even know if this developer still exists. If they do, I might try and, like, find them on Twitter and see if I can ask some questions about the engine and all that, because it's very confusing. I might also try it on different hardware just to see what happens. This is so strange. I thought this was on, like, UE or something like that. Hold on, let me check. Although this... Well, I mean, it doesn't say what it is on Wikipedia, because as I said last episode, there's basically nothing in this Wikipedia article. Of course, the, like, one reception item says... City Weekly liked the game and found it entertaining, but disliked the frame rate stalling. Yikes. Alright, hold on. Let me see if this company still exists. They've got a Twitter. Their last tweet was May 6th, 2019. They made one other game called Cell Damage HD. I think they made it before this, but apparently it made it to the Switch. But I don't see any, like, it's basically just, their Twitter is just a bunch of them talking about cell damage. Hold on. Did it come out before this? After they made Cell Damage HD. Yeah, so they made... Weird. I mean, I guess they must still exist in some capacity, or their online presence does. I don't know that they have a website, but anyway, that's a problem for me to look at later. What a weird thing, for so many reasons. Okay. Well, now that we're back at 60 FPS, let's fix our other settings. It's funny, because everything's just a little blurry. but the overall performance is dramatically better and the visuals are dramatically better. Sorry, I'm having a hard time paying attention to the game because there's so much about the like metagame aspect of it, like about the manufacturing of this piece of media that I find it hard to focus. That is truly one of the spookiest gnomes I've ever seen. In fact, I'm a little fearful of putting my back to it. And there's Scrooge, I guess. The fact that this has no animation is very upsetting. Fucking medicine ball? What a weird amalgamation of stuff. There's a lot of fast food being eaten. And just tons of carrots. I think a carrot needs to go there, and I think I need to find which carrot it needs to be. How do I know which carrot is the right carrot? What? Is that one-dimensional item some toast? A burnt lab report. Much of it can't be read, but the words abject failure appear several times. So does hurt feelings, sentient corn stalks, and why did we do this? I mean, of all the ways to burn things, why a toaster in the attic? I can't tell how much of these items are, like, intentionally odd, or if how many of them are just like, hey, we need to fill some space, right? Because the crazy scientist farmer, why does that look like I can walk right past it now? Maybe I can. The idea of the crazy scientist farmer doesn't exactly align to my mind with plastic kiddie chairs and shitty workout equipment. That's weird that I can walk up there. Well, I have to presume I need to smash something somewhere else. But where? Where, oh where? At least I have something for self-defense. Why? Why would I put the rancid corn oil in the sink? Am I really just... I mean, I guess I'm glad I'm no longer carrying the rancid corn oil, but also very confused. Okay, where have I not gone? The nail clipper said something about taking stuff out of a wall. But I can't see shit. So at this point I'm just relying on the idea that everything important will be highlighted. take the nail that the thing was on? Nope. I mean, I'm not even pressing Q. That's very... Why would you say that? I pressed shift, not Q. Have I been here before? No, this is new. Okay, so it's arbitrarily opening things for me when it decides I'm ready for the next step. This is a rock you found near an outhouse. You don't know why you have it. It is absolutely mediocre in every way possible. Its name is Chauncey. Well, that's very judgmental. I'm sorry, Chauncey. I'm having some tea and then some drink. Because this game is something else. Whew. Okay. Tell me, game, why do I now have a bent nail? And why is this grass poppin' so terrible? I mean, I know this graphics card. This graphics card is capable of more than this. So... I have to chalk it all up to the end. Oh, fuck. Are you gonna make me put this in the... Yep. Used rusty nails if used against safety regulations. Stored power to farmhouse. It is slightly less dark than it was before. See, now you actually have lighting, and it all makes a bit more sense. Although that sound is very upsetting. I think that's supposed to be the sound of a bad, what do you call it? God, it's right in my fucking ear. It sounds like scratching. Also, it really does not like me going up the stairs sideways. Ooh. God. Can I turn this back off? Because if I have to listen to that directly in my ear for the entire rest of the game, I'm going to lose it. Oh God, that's scratching. Oh, it's the speakers. That makes a bit more sense. I still wish it wasn't like that. It's very upsetting, but... Pick up a CD, good for you. A new path is open to you. To the barn and silo. It didn't say before that a path had opened to the outhouse, did it? Maybe it did and I missed it. It says top secret on it. Hold on. Should look at these things. Keep forgetting that that's a thing I can do, especially because for some reason I have multiple ways to look at multiple different types of things depending on if they're interactable or not. In fact, why does Chauncey exist? The other things at least make sense as documents, but then I've got a mediocre rock that presumably is not an interactable. Poor Chauncey. An old CD, its label faded. Pressed on the first batch of CDs ever created, this brand was notoriously expensive and even more unreliable, making even the greatest of symphonies sound like something a concussed elephant would make while stumbling around a music shop. That's not really how music data gets written to CDs, but sure, why not? Just let it slide. There's a floating shadow of the CD. Oh my god, there's floating shadows of every single item. And for some reason, the CD is massive and the mallet is very tiny. As though they are different distances from the sun. And the English muffin... Oh, the English muffin does have a shadow, okay. Wow, that's fucking wild. I'm almost impressed. This is broken in so many weird ways. I love how there's... I can't jump, so you can't see it that well, but because of the head bob, you can sort of see on the horizon level, there's like a mist. There, you can see it better there, but it's an actual layer, and because it sits at a certain like set height in the game world, I'm like constantly bobbing like above and below it. Sort of like, you know, if you're in the pool with like goggles or something like that. And if you're in a pool and you get like your eyes so they're just on the surface, so they're like slightly up, going slightly above and below as you bob. What a weird game. Can't fucking read that. If you're stuck, remember to press E to examine your equipped item for clues. But B-U-C-H-U... Did I become illiterate, or is that totally illegible? The bottom part appears to say Great Kidney Cure, but I have no idea what that top bit is. Silo is that way. Who took all this furniture outside and painted signs on it? If this game crashes and I have to start from scratch, I'll lose my mind. Although I guess it did have that restore even after I only loaded the game the once and didn't go anywhere. So, I don't know. Maybe there's nothing to be worried about. Maybe the designers really thought this one through and it auto-saves anywhere. There's a bunch of horseshoes and... I guess those are bridles? They're odd. They're very small. Bandsaw. Corn of the World. A book outlining differences and similarities of corn species across the globe. Several chapters also discuss the color yellow. A few species are circled in red pen, while No 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 appears in many places across the entire book in blue pen. I'm very concerned that I have 6 out of 75 items, and I'm like an hour, more than an hour into the game, and this is supposed to be a 3 to 4 hour game. Pile of something or other you can sweep up with this, but you already knew that. What you didn't know was that this broom is haunted. This will not affect your adventure in any way, as the ghost is currently away on business. a diagram. A diagram torn in half contains a very complicated looking equation. Very complicated looking equation scribbled in orange pen. A drawing of a person and a DNA helix. Looks very important. You tried to eat it at first, but changed your mind when you couldn't find any salt. Okay, I mean, I enjoy absurdist humor, but there's a point at which it's just like absurdist for absurdism's sake, if that makes any sense. Oh, it says get pumped, and then it's got a bunch of, looks like shitty, exclamation points. Just another illegible thing. Okay, well, aside from this broom, I didn't see anything else interactable in this building. Which seems odd. Also, wait a minute. There should be a loft door. Didn't we see the loft door? There is a loft door up there, but it doesn't, well, it sort of exists, but then it doesn't make any sense because the loft doesn't go there. Okay. Alright. Let's go back the way we came briefly, because I think there was one detour we didn't take, right? And then after that, we'll go to, or maybe I'm mistaken? No, I guess I must have been mistaken. I thought there was one more path. But maybe it was just the one to the silo. It's funny, because this is recording at less than 30 frames a second for you guys, but for me it's pretty much completely smooth. Oh, this was the, Why is this recording at 30? Game, what are you doing? Can you please explain yourself? See, now we're both now we're at the higher quality, but we're both moving at the... I just want an explanation. I just want to know. Now it's back to 60. Is it the shadows? If it's the shadows, it's not just the shadows. Oh, there was a hiccup when I switched textures. Encoding overloaded. Consider turning down video settings. Oh, there is something interesting. So now... Huh. Alright, I might have to tweak my recording settings. But it'll have to be for the next video. Weird. It's only in certain areas, though. In other areas, it's totally... I guess it's probably the renderer is... or the X264 is probably choking on all of the texturing. It's so weird that you, like... Well, it's weird that there's so few graphical options in the first place, but the fact that you can't even turn off grass or anything like that. Well, my apologies. Well, but the renderer... Maybe it's the game using way more CPU in certain areas for some reason. what is it using it for? I'm so distracted by the nature of this game than I am by the game itself. I'm not pressing Q. Game, are you trying to get me to press Q? Because it's not, it doesn't, if it was narrated or something and this was like, if this was like the Stanley Parable, this desperately well, I mean, the Stanley Parable came out after this, I think. If not, maybe very close, but I think it came out after the Stanley Parable. It desperately needs a narrator or something. I guess that's just nothing. So what is this? Oh, Jesus. Well... cool. I can't walk over whatever that is. But I can walk over in one direction. I now have a severed hand. Severed hand perfectly preserved in the glove that encases it. It could come in handy if you could give yourself a hand and find a way to loosen and get that glove off. First pun was intended, but not the second. Wasn't there another... Smash something perfectly flat with this trusty tool, but remember you can never unflatten things with this. It is the mallet's greatest weakness. Extremely useful for picking a lock, but you mistakenly thought it was a pencil and wrote a very detailed account of your day up to that point and didn't notice there was no ink until a few hours later. Wasn't there something that said something before about a hand? Do I have to go? Oh, I gotta go put the fucking hand in the sink. A very fashionable fedora worn by a very fashionable person. Due to this, you are not putting it on your head as you have not earned the right. On the inner tag, the owner wrote his name, Fernando. Took you several hours of staring, but you managed to deduce that the name tag in fact belongs to the dead person it was near, and that his name is Fernando. It took you several more hours to notice that the dead person was a lab assistant, and then 5 more minutes to realize you were trying to read the thing upside down the whole time. Ha! Funny. Let me guess. I'm gonna need to use the... I need to unglove the hand so that I can use the hand to activate some sort of mechanism. Is this a lightning rod of some kind? Oh, there's an underground lab, and this is a lightning rod to harness the electricity to do a Frankenstein joke, isn't it? Sorry, I'm looking at the renderings, trying to figure out what's causing the issue. It is kind of funny to me that my GPU blew up, and it's not the GPU that's the problem. Well, it's the game mostly, and then it's the CPU. Okay, well, let's open this padlock with this bobby pin that we clearly know how to use, even though the meta-narration, it seems to continue to tell us that we're some sort of idiot. I just... I didn't expect to take the telescope. Manufactured about a century ago, this telescope's effective range is the tops of low-hanging trees, possibly because its lenses were put on backwards. Looks like it was used frequently with varying results. Well, let's broom this shit. God, we gotta stand in it to do that. Cleared a pile of corn kernels with the broom. Needle nose pliers. COIO3? Though it's hard to make out, this blueprint looks like it's for the construction of a very large and very poorly planned facility. The farm situated on top of it. There we go. The facility itself actually set an architectural record for having the largest number of corridors that lead absolutely nowhere. Why did we build all of this? It says. Well, okay. Boy, I can't look at those cross beams and not think, oh yeah, I gotta jump down from the top. I gotta go back to... it's been too long since I've played Dark Souls 2 to make the joke. Gotta get the rings so that I don't die from fall damage. Okay, well, let's go figure out what to do. Oh, I can use the pliers to pull the thing out of the meat grinder, probably. Whatever it is. I don't really know why I'm doing any of these things, though. It's odd, because, like, what little marketing material I saw that kind of hooked me has basically been completely absent from the game. Pulled warp key fob out of sausage grinder. Not an ideal place for it. Okay. This warp key fob would be useful if you could flatten it back to its original shape. At first, you tried to do this by staring very hard at it. It didn't work, so you set out to find a tool that will do the job much better. Well, I have the tool. The question is, how do I flatten it with... I mean, it's easy, I just don't know how to combine items. I don't believe you can. I think I'm gonna have to find the place to do it. Okay, let's put the hand in the sink. Of course. Loosened glove from severed hand. Slightly disgusting. Boy, that's given me all kinds of unpleasant feelings. I really don't like looking at that hand. Please put it away. Well. There's something back. I think there was this way I hadn't been able to go before, right? Am I remembering that right? Evidently not. Just wanted to make sure there wasn't something in the toilet. Is that a... No. Thought it was a saw blade. Saw blade in the outhouse. Saw blade in the outhouse is the name of the first album from my Appalachian banjo-only band. Well, I don't recall anything else having opened up. Let's run back to the little thingamabobber and see if I can put the fob in it. I don't think I can, but then we'll call this episode and I'll see if I can fix the recording. I don't think I can though, because switching the video back and forth changes it. Wait a minute. Am I going the right way? I think there's only the one way. Oh yeah, okay. Well, no one can say I didn't try. Oh. That's what the hand is for. Ugh. Okay. When we return, I'll figure out how to flatten out this key fob. Jesus.